For about 10 years, I failed to stop watching porn. I'd relapse and then go on a streak and then relapse again, and I was just stuck in this horrible, constant conflict. A part of me wanted to stop the behaviour, a part of me still wanted to engage in it, and I did not know what to do. Now, during that time, I was thinking in very irrational ways, and it's almost like my thinking disabled my ability to ever actually stop watching porn. Like, looking back, I can't see any way how I could have actually overcome my porn addiction whilst thinking in such irrational ways and holding certain beliefs and thought patterns in my mind. So what I want to do today is just share one of these thought patterns. You know, it's not going to completely solve your porn addiction. If you think you're going to watch a 10-minute video and your porn addiction is going to like evaporate, well, yeah, it's not going to happen. I don't really know how a porn addiction would evaporate anyway. That doesn't really make sense, but we're going to crack on. So I gave up my porn addiction. Well, did I actually give anything up? Let me tell you a couple of stories. Last Friday, I'm in the office and there was a guy there who asked me, you know, what are you getting up to at the weekend? And I shared how I was going to a party on the Friday night. You know, it was like a party with my gym. I know quite a lot of people at the gym now, so just like a little social thing there. And then Saturday night I had a running club party, and again got quite a lot of mates at the running club now because I've been in that club for like 4 years, so it's really good, and you know, it's just a good friendly place. So I said, yeah, going to a couple of parties, and we ended up talking a bit about alcohol, and I was sharing, well, yeah, I'm not actually going to be drinking any alcohol, you know, Friday or Saturday night. And he asked me, yeah, Tom, like, how have you managed to give up alcohol? And it's an interesting question because it's almost like the question itself is wrong, like it's not in alignment with the way I think at all. And so we have to always start with understanding the problem. And the problem he had is that in his mind, because this guy, by the way, was trying to stop, you know, drinking alcohol, in his mind, he sees it as something he's got to give up. And it's like, you know, I can't drink alcohol anymore. It causes me all these consequences, all these hangovers, you know, it's impacting my life, blah, blah, blah. Whereas for me, it's like, no, I just choose to stop it because it has all these benefits, and I don't feel like I have to stop drinking alcohol. I could drink, and you know, there's times in my life where I'll occasionally have a glass of wine, or you know, a glass of champagne or whatever, very occasionally, but I don't feel like I'm teetotal or fully sober or like a big advocate for living life without alcohol. Doesn't really play on my mind much. I don't really think about it much. And you know, at these parties, both Friday and Saturday night, someone asks me like, what are you drinking? I'll just be like, yeah, I'll just, you know, maybe have a non-alcoholic Guinness, or you know, pint of Diet Coke or whatever. And it just didn't really occur to me that at these parties I wasn't drinking. Like, I was just the same sort of energetic, like happy, just sociable guy. Like, it honestly, at this point for me, no longer drinking alcohol and being in a social setting genuinely feels better than the days when I used to drink alcohol and be in like a social setting. Like, I honestly am more sociable and confident and enjoy connecting with people and just having a laugh with friends more now that I don't drink alcohol than I did in the past when I did drink. Like, my mindset has just completely shifted. My whole paradigm and belief system on drinking alcohol and so many other behaviours in my life has just completely transformed. And we'll tie this all back into porn addiction very shortly. But let me just stay with this for a minute. Now, one of the ways in which I changed my whole perspective on this was actually reading a book called The Freedom Model. Now, don't get me wrong, this book, I don't think it's very good for porn addiction. We've now worked with guys who have actually, you know, had full-on training from the guys at the Freedom Model, and they've failed to stop watching porn. Now, that's why they've ended up joining us at the Compulsion Academy. So I don't think that method is particularly good for porn, to be straight. Maybe there's a couple of guys who can succeed with it. I don't know. One of our other clients actually ended up listening to our podcast on the Freedom Model, reading the book, and then ended up having the junky thought that, oh, well, you know, watching porn's just a choice, you know, it's fine, I'll just watch porn and it won't be a big deal. And then he relapsed, and that's like completely the opposite of our approach. It's like, wait, hang on, porn is like destroying your life. I'm not going to invalidate anyone's problematic porn use with this idea that, oh, it's fine, it's just a choice. Anyway, could go on a tangent and talk about that book forever. We've done a podcast on it, listen to that if you want. But essentially, I don't think that's a good approach to porn addiction recovery. What it did teach me, though, was one really good mental mindset shift. This was about alcohol in particular. And what they were saying is like, look, it's not really the alcohol which makes the social setting really enjoyable. Instead, what it's more about is, okay, like the ambiance, like the people you're with, the context around you. And if you think about it in this way, which they described, it really changes your whole perspective on it. So, let's say you drink alcohol and you're at a party, okay, you feel a bit more energetic, a bit more upbeat, a bit more lively, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, probably expected. Now, let's say you drink alcohol and you're at a funeral of a loved one. Now, a lot of people do drink alcohol at funerals. Are people there like upbeat and lively, in an energetic, excited mood? No, it's a completely different vibe. And so it's not actually the alcohol which creates the sort of excitement and whatnot. It's more the social setting around you and your thoughts around it and your beliefs and what's going on in your mind. And yeah, sure, maybe there's a small impact from the alcohol as well, but it's much more the setting. And like Friday and Saturday night, it's a party. It's packed out like places. Like was in a club. Like there's music. Like everyone's there to have a good time. Like obviously in that social setting, you're gonna be feeling a little bit different, a bit more upbeat, a bit more lively. And so it's not really the alcohol which creates those feelings. It's more the ambiance around you. So anyway, that's a bit of a side note. But with the alcohol, what I want to do is just kind of bring this up, because let's then look at the pornography. A lot of people, they feel like they have to give something up. They feel like, porn's like impacting my life so much. It's making me feel depressed. I've got this erectile dysfunction. It's like really impacting my relationship. I'm objectifying all these women. I feel like such a loser. I feel like such a failure. Like, why can't I stop? Like, this is so hard. I've tried giving it up so many times. I keep failing. What's wrong with me? Would I ever get out of this? And people have this like heavy weight, this like burden on them. And they feel like, I've got to like stop doing this thing. For me now, it's similar to alcohol. It's just like, well, yeah, it's not that similar, because I actually wouldn't go anywhere near porn at this point. Like, hell no. Whereas with the alcohol, I might have a glass here and there. When you're giving up pornography, it's not really that you're giving up this amazing, wonderful, life-enhancing thing. What you're actually giving up, if you stop this behaviour, it isn't really porn. What you're actually giving up is your addiction. You're giving up being stuck. You're giving up feeling low confidence. You're giving up a lack of energy. You're giving up a lack of self-esteem. You're giving up dysfunctional relationships. You're giving up losing money. You're giving up wasting time. Like, you're giving up all this shit which actually has been destroying your life. So it's not really that you're giving up porn and it's this like really difficult thing on some pedestal. It's like, no. You're actually getting so much from giving up the behaviour. Hopefully this makes a little bit of sense, but the way I frame it, I don't even see it as giving anything up. It's similar with the alcohol. When I stopped drinking alcohol, I started to realise I had all these benefits in my life. Like, I didn't need to drink. Like, there wasn't actually any great benefits to drinking. Instead, what I was getting is more energy, feeling better the next day, like no longer being hungover, same level of like confidence and energy as when I drank alcohol, more money as well, because obviously drinking alcohol is expensive. Like, it's about framing things in the right way. But in the addiction recovery world, especially with porn, people put porn on such a high pedestal and think it's this like amazing thing. But you've got to really like dive into the thought patterns around it a little bit deeper and start to see that, well, what are you actually giving up if you stop watching porn? What are you actually getting out of the behaviour? And how are you glamorizing it? That is an exercise that we teach within the Beyond Compulsion Academy. It's one of the really good exercises that completely transform people's mindset. Now, hopefully this makes a little bit of sense to you. If I were you, just start off with the mental shift. Instead of thinking to yourself, I have to give up porn, you can start to think to yourself, I get to give up my porn addiction. Just that alone, like, I get to give up my porn addiction. You don't have to, okay? That in itself just completely changes the way you see things. So many more mental shifts and reframes that we offer inside the Beyond Compulsion Academy. If you'd like to join, click the link below and we'll see you in the program. See ya, and have a great day. Bye.